Welcome to the final episode of the Bloodline Showcase, the Tribal Gauntlet. I am your host, attackslug. And who shall we make the Tribal Chief? We have a number of Bloodline choices here, but I think I will go with I Love You Solo. Wow. The whole arena for this. That's cool.
Match is the 2K Showcase Tribal Gauntlet. The winner of this match will be acknowledged as your Tribal Chief.
The Bloodline Gauntlet match begins here, gentlemen, with our first entrant.
A superstar with a daunting challenge ahead.
And from Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 250 pounds, Sikoa!
Grinding your way through the Bloodline? One of the biggest dynasties in history? Is it even possible?
Well, it's highly improbable, but nothing's impossible in WWE.
Whoever decided to take the old SmackDown set with the fist and turn it into the one, genius.
It requires incredible courage to take on the Bloodline.
And there's no tougher challenge than taking on the entire Bloodline in a gauntlet match. Can't imagine what's going on inside this superstar's head.
Who is the first victim?
Wow! How's this for an opening opponent in a gauntlet match?
Makes you want to throw in the towel before the bell even rings.
And from the Isle of Samoa, weighing in at 425 pounds, Rikishi!
And on the other side of this first hurdle, just one of the Bloodline's most savage and powerful members.
The Bloodline starting things off with a bang, looking to make short work of this challenger.
The very first opponent gonna be dear old dad. That's pretty funny. The Tribal Cheeks in the building.
This is where it begins. The ultimate gauntlet challenge against the full might of the Bloodline.
Win or loss, this is an historic undertaking.
As much as I don't really want to play a long gauntlet match, I do want to get all the unlocks, and we have some objectives. 3 finishers is one of my objectives, so here we go with Big Quiche. And yes, I have some overall thoughts on this mode this year. I think most folks would agree that the timed objectives were a bad idea. Like, it's just not fun to get deep into a match and then fail for some garbage nonsense reason. Looking at you, Natalya, in the Money in the Bank. Is not great. So that's one thing. Number 2, I feel like I am glad that they got rid of the quote-unquote slingshot, come on, Quiche, technology, right? Because I feel like they had to, considering the current day stuff, especially with Mania 40 being in here and having to take out the Prime logos and anything else that's going to be on the ring mat going forward. Like, you're going to have to get rid of that stuff because otherwise the amount of blurring you have to do just becomes, like, makes the videos, the actual videos look terrible. So, much more important to have cutscenes in here. The problem is, there were not nearly enough of them for your historical matches. Which, sure, you had the whole thing with Paul Heyman and those videos ran for a while. And I'm not going to ever get mad at hearing Paul Heyman talk because he is one of the best ever to do it. But I feel like all the time and work you spent doing the island that nobody cares about could have been put better, that work to be put into Showcase instead. But that's just my opinion. Like, time is a finite resource. So time taken away for things like the island, which people don't want, because, yeah, is time you could have spent on making Showcase better, on making My Rise better, on making the whole overall game be less buggy and glitchy. And I missed one there on the boot and the yeah, let's try it again. Take that, as a matter of fact. We're going to get our first, hopefully, SIG here and finish spinning solo. And then right into the spike. Now, it is uneasy. I want to survive here through 9 competitors. So who is number 2 in the challenge? Keeping in mind, we have some super heavyweights with extra health bars like Yokozuna and Umaga, I'm pretty sure. Can I taunt here on the way to the ring? Can I taunt? Can I get a meter up? No, I just got to sit here and wait, and I can't even move. Here comes Tama, one half of the Islanders. So, you know, I'm not going to sit here and record and talk over the whole match. That's just going to be pointless. You know, obviously if there are important parts that I want to get to, I'll have those here in the video. But in general, it's, you know, me just doing this over and over again, which is not the most compelling of a video. But obviously, this is the final part of the showcase. So overall, I feel like having more varied objectives, having having better historical cutscene type stuff for perhaps next year would be ideal if they're going to if they're going to keep on doing it this way. And please, for the love of God, get rid of these garbage timed objectives. Nobody wants those. They're terrible. Like, I understand trying to have some other way of the game being difficult, even on easy, but that's not it. You guys didn't do that one the way it should have been done. It's just rough stuff. Rough stuff. So, here's hoping they come back next year for something more compelling. But the question then, who next year, right? Who would be the, if you have one person or perhaps a group, who would be the subject of a showcase for next year? You can't keep going back to 30 years of Mania, 40 years of Mania, that kind of thing. And the problem you find with men who have long careers, like we had Mysterio, is that important matches are just not in the showcase because of people who aren't in the game, which is always, you know, every year is a problem. So, we'll see. Like, I don't think they'll get rid of Showcase because someone there at 2K likes it. So, 1, 2, and a 2 count on the SIG, which means Tama. I hate to inform you, but it's time to get spiked. So low! And that's going to be all she wrote for Tama, I hope, maybe. Oh, he had what I would assume to be resiliency, which means you're going to get spiked again, man. Sorry to say, twice in a row. So 3rd objective complete. But I must continue to put on a full display of dominance by dishing out that monstrous amount of punishment. And who? Oh, the High Chief is number 4 in the match. My 3rd opponent. Bring on Maivia. But yes, I will now jump cut to the finishes here, or the entrances here of the next several, and then perhaps have some video of the final competitor. I'm hoping it's not Yoko, but I would assume it might be because it's definitely not going to be the High Chief, or perhaps The Rock. The final boss is indeed the final boss of the Gauntlet. That would make sense to me, but we shall see. 1, 2, 3 for the High Chief. Tell me who's next, as we're halfway into that bar there in the middle. Who is, Fatu, again fighting my dad. Rikishi is here. And there goes Fatu, making a difference. Jamal is next up. And Jamal gets the spike, but that's not enough, I don't think, to put him away. We'll see. We'll find out. And it was. Okay, I'll take it. Bring on whoever is next in this contest. Jimmy Uso 2017. Big bro number 1 is Big Jim. And sorry, Big Jim. It's the same as everybody else. Relax, Cole. That's a hell of a call. spike time. Sorry, that's just gonna be all she wrote for that one. A 2, a 3. Bye-bye, Big Jim. Tell me who's next. Tongaloa, the infamous Tongaloa. That's all she wrote. And then the 1, the 2, and a 3. Nobody Mina. Then Tamina. I would imagine that because there are so many members of this bloodline, who you get in this gauntlet is going to be random. I would certainly hope that after this one, for the final, would be either The Rock or Yoko. We'll see, though. Maybe it's Naomi. I don't know. Like, it could be anybody. All right, then. In any event, boom. Maybe it's going to be Umanga. Tamina gonna fly. Can I avoid it? Maybe not. I did. Wow. Last possible second to avoid that Superfly splash from Tamina. I'll take it. Is that enough, though? The spinning solo. 1, 2. It was. And who is the final? Is it Roman? Is it Rock? Is it Yoko? It's Sika. I'm not mad at that. Not mad at that. When you consider what Alpha and Sika brought to this bloodline, yeah, that's appropriate. So, our final member of the gauntlet is indeed Sika. So Sika versus Solo Sikoa, an immediate spike. Just immediate. Love it. 1, 2. That would have been so funny if that had gone through. But no, I know. It's going to take more than that for one half of the Wild Samoans and Roman's dad. So, let's go. Let's go. The fight is on. We're in deep, deep, deep waters here. The final member of the gauntlet. Okay, Sika. One more spike for ya. And that might be the end of this video and video series. A 3. And we did it.
The winner of this match, and officially, your Tribal Chief, Solo Sikoa!
The battlefield was laid out. The gauntlet was fierce. Pain will live tomorrow. Scars will remain for life. But in this family, you will rule your own kin from a seat at the head of the table.
We get the arena, and then the very old, like the debut, Jimmy J and Tamina. And thus concludes the Bloodline Showcase video series. I am your host, attackslug. More videos right here. I'll see you next time. Acknowledge me, and I'm out.